just a quick reminder to everyone as I call children forward for our children's moment. All children are welcome, and then they will be dismissed to go to our Worship and Wonder, which is for 4 years old through second grade. If you are new with us, I'll be happy to show you where your children are going to be, where to pick them up at. So if you have any questions, just find me after the pastoral prayer. Miss Dottie is waiting to escort our kids downstairs. So a few people you can ask if you have any questions about the way that we operate our children's church here called Worship and Wonder. But now I want to invite our children forward for our children's moment. Good morning, everyone. So last week was a big Sunday, right? It was Easter. I mean, Jesus gets resurrected. The tomb is empty. Maybe depending on the story, he's talking to the people, letting them know what's going on. But then Jesus was still around. So there's some stories, just a few, about what Jesus did after his resurrection and before he ascended into heaven. And one of those stories is he makes breakfast for his disciples. See, his disciples were afraid after Jesus was resurrected because they didn't know where he was. So they're all out fishing because a lot of Jesus' disciples were fishermen. So they're casting their nets out, and Jesus appears on shore. He helps them catch some fish. One's so excited, he jumps out of the boat and swims there. And that's Peter, and on this beach, Jesus has made breakfast over, this says, a charcoal fire for everybody. Have you ever been camping? You ever ate food outside that was cooked outside? It's pretty cool. So Jesus prepared breakfast for all his disciples, and there's a guy there named Peter. And Peter had done a bad thing, right? Peter had denied that he knew Jesus, and he had not seen Jesus since. But still, Jesus made breakfast for him. He offered him a plate, and he forgave Peter. And Peter kind of asked for his forgiveness. Peter asked for his forgiveness, and Jesus forgave him, even though what Peter did probably really hurt Jesus' feelings. But Jesus, this whole thing was Jesus came back so that people like Peter who mess up, people like Pastor Zach, and each one of you who sometimes make mistakes or sometimes just don't do the right thing when we're supposed to do the right thing, there's forgiveness there. Just because we make one mistake or two mistakes or three mistakes or however many mistakes you can count. The resurrection of Jesus reminds us that it's okay. That even that when we come back, Jesus is metaphorically going to offer us some fish and some bread, right? And we're going to eat with them. That's what we do at our table each and every Sunday when we take communion. We have a meal not with just Jesus, but with all those people who came before us. It's pretty cool, right? Can you guys pray with me before we go to Worship and Wonder? Repeat after me. Say, Dear God, thank you so much for welcoming us in. That's a big word. You guys did a good job. Amen. Let's go to Worship and Wonder.